Hi, my name is Anirudh Narayan and welcome to Masterlife. In this video, we're going to talk about a framework, or rather we're going to give you a framework on actually how to stay balanced and how to minimize a lot of your sinusoidal motions. I don't know about you guys, but I used to go through a lot of these ups and downs in my life. I used to go through a phase where like, oh my God, I'm doing really well in my life to what am I doing with my life, right? And it wasn't healthy for me, right? Like there would be days where the emotions would just take over me and I would just be sitting at home, and that wasn't healthy. So I wanted to figure a way out where I could minimize those days or reduce the number of hours or even make it to maybe a matter of minutes that I could come back to being normal. Okay, so let's break that down. And I built those systems of happiness for myself, and that's something I want to share with you. So imagine you have happiness on the y-axis and you have time on the x-axis, right? It usually looks like if there's some positive trigger in your life, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing really well. Someone gave me a compliment, or I got married, right? And you kind of hit those peak emotions of happiness. But let's say there are some negative triggers. Someone said something, someone criticized you, or you compared yourself to someone. Your emotions kind of move negatively, these sinusoidal emotions. Now, why does that happen, right? It happens because, let's say, if you took your brain, you have a rational side and your irrational side. I'm really trying to simplify it for you, but imagine that there's a rational side, which is the prefrontal cortex, and then you have the amygdala, which is your irrational side. Essentially, when your insecurities kick in, your reptilian brain, which is all the blood flow kind of goes to the back of your brain. Okay, this is the primitive brain. And blood flow kind of stops your rational side. So you start acting, your body kind of kicks into this fight or flight mode, which is not healthy for you, and that's something that takes over, right? And how do you usually get out of it? Imagine your body or your mind is like this container, right? It's filled with negative emotions for yourself and a very little set of positive emotions. You need to fill that tank again with positive emotions so that you feel more balanced. How do you do it? You listen to music, you talk to your friends about it, sometimes you go for a run, things that you are most familiar with to make yourself feel better, okay? But again, that's a reactive state. Now, how do we kind of take that to a proactive state where this doesn't happen, but it's almost like this most of the time? Okay, so for you to prevent that from happening on a consistent basis, you have to really make sure you're filling the tank with positive emotions. How do you do that? Your self-talk has to be really good. So imagine on an everyday basis in the morning, you get up and say, I am positive. I am abundant. Okay, I am someone who looks fantastic. Anything that you have identified as your insecurities, that's something that you want to start telling yourself and fill that tank. Okay, next is journaling. You want to be grateful. You want to be grateful about the fact that you're alive. You have this opportunity for entrepreneurship on an everyday basis, right? Gratefulness has shown to have a very strong correlation with happiness. And third is, I also want you to build this systems of happiness or this achievement manifesto for yourself, okay? Imagine there's a sheet of paper. I want you to write down all the achievements that you've had so far in life. Doesn't matter whether it was grade 5, grade 7, grade 8. Write down, even if there are 100, write all of them down, okay? And every time you're down, I want you to look at them. Look at those achievements. And what I usually do is I used to have these set of achievements. I used to have the system of happiness where I would tell myself, if you're down, these are things you got to do. I would have this in a sheet of paper and I would put it in my wallet. So that's something that I want it to be accessible to you, okay? So that's your own framework that you've created, and you can kind of put that that's something that you can actually put it in your pocket and access it on a regular basis. So I hope that was helpful. We have worksheets associated with this video. I'd love for you to take a look at it and actually start working on it.